being a boxer isn't an everyday trade that I can take anywhere around the world. Do you know what I mean? It's not something I can do till I'm 50 years old. I just realised I've got a short window and I need to express myself and my talent to the world. So it's a real hustle, man.
Sparring with Joshua, we know that whatever opponents we're going to face in the amateurs, we're going to spar with Joshua. We can expect the best. So it prepares us to be the sharpest and the best that we can be. As I've come out, Fraser's gone in, and it's good to be sharp 3 rounds. You can have another good sharp 3 rounds there.
How I keep positive, I'd say, is every time it gets tough, and when I feel like I don't want to do it, there is someone out there in this world laying on a hospital bed, begging for a second chance at life. I'm sitting there healthy, a good friend, eating, light, running tap water. I don't think I have any excuse to not go hard or live life with a smile on my face.
Anthony Joshua is preparing for the Jake Paul fight like a man determined to remind the entire world exactly who he is.
One more.
You know, so I use YouTube a lot, where there's a lot of videos.
Anthony Joshua is training for Jake Paul, like a man on a mission determined to remind the entire world exactly who he is.
Fights, a lot of them involved moral victories. A lot of them involved getting out of the first round. And a lot of them would involve getting out of the first 2 rounds and haven't been knocked down yet. Want to be getting out of the 3rd round, you've only been on the canvas once and you got up to your feet, you shook it off and you're ready to keep going. Like, these things are all victories, but the fight that it's going to happen, I think it's a big deal for Jake Paul. I think it's a big deal for everybody involved. I think it's a big deal that Francis looks at that fight and realizes, oh, these things make sense. These things that make dollars, they make sense. That's his business. This was his opportunity that he missed out on.
Not just a former heavyweight champion, not just a famous name, but a disciplined, powerful, world-class professional built through years of sacrifice. His training camp looks like something straight from a gladiator film, morning sessions before sunrise, sweating before most people have even opened their eyes.
Because I want to see some blood. I want to see somebody's teeth falling out. So I told Anthony, I already messaged Anthony. I was like, listen, I tell you what, I said to AJ, if this goes past 5 rounds, everybody's going to be having a go at you, because you can't go past 5 rounds with this kid. It has to go past 1 round or 2 rounds. Past beyond 4 or 5 rounds, you know, people are going to be doubting you as a fighter himself. So he has to smoke him out like what he did Francis Ngannou in Saudi Arabia in 1 round.
He weight like it's nothing. His conditioning sessions would leave most elite athletes exhausted, yet his engine barely slows down. His footwork is sharp. His combinations snap like artillery fire. Sparring partners come in and quickly realize Joshua isn't training to compete. He's training to dominate.
He's gotten better since he fought Tommy Fury. He's certainly gotten better over the last number of fights. Now, is he at an elite, world-class level? Probably not yet. He may never get to that level, but so you got to give him props. He's taken on a guy that I spent part of my morning talking to different boxing matchmakers, people I've known for decades in this business, who have vast experience of building fighters and moving fighters and developing them, and they know a lot better than you or me what they're looking at. And to a person, they were like, they don't understand why Jake took this fight, because they think it's, you know, one person used the word of decapitation.
Mindset feels different this time. Colder, sharper, more focused than they've seen him in years. It's the kind of locked-in intensity that won him an Olympic gold medal and 2 heavyweight world titles. Every round, every punch, every drill, he's making a statement. And there's one punch everyone is overlooking. Forget the jab, forget the right hand. The real danger for Jake Paul is Anthony Joshua.
What should happen? This is a 1-round job, because AJ, even though he's past his best, even though he's seen better days, he throws a nice 1-2 down the middle. He's got a nice bit of distance, and fake Paul can't fight. He just can't. I don't care what anybody tells me. He can't fucking fight. He lost to Tommy Fury, for crying out loud. He can't jump in with Anthony Joshua now and expect to get a result. So, like,
something the moment he gets rocked, he ducks straight forward, head down, hands tight ass, if he's bracing for impact. And that's exactly the path Joshua used to knock out Vladimir. If Jake falls for a feint and dips his head, Joshua's uppercut won't just land. It will be waiting for him like a trapdoor to the shadow realm. That's the punch that doesn't just hurt, it erases the round, the strategy, and possibly the memory of how you even got there.
By a knockout, this is a million times better than what I always have thought was a very ill-conceived event with Tank Davis. So whatever you think about Jake and some of the types of fights that he has made, you got to give him credit for at least everybody has said for a long time now, fight a real fighter, fight a real boxer. Well, Anthony Joshua was absolutely...
Unless he doubts himself, hesitates, or loses focus, this ends exactly how physics designed it. Jake Paul can box. He's improved, but Anthony Joshua, he ends eras when a cruiserweight entertainer steps into the ring with a true heavyweight puncher who has Olympic mechanics and skyscraper power. There's only one outcome the universe allows. And speaking of physics, that brings us directly to Dan Raphael, who reacted like a journalist stumbling into the trailer of a...
Dana said it's a very bad idea because it's everything that everybody's ever wanted they're going to be given. Dana said, be careful with what you ask for. And what Dana's talking about is they want to see Josh Paul fight a seasoned, in his prime, of his size, real boxer. And that's what Joshua is. So Dana's talking about you're going to get what you asked for. Well, what you asked for is a real fight. What you asked for is for somebody with the power and the danger to beat you. What you, the audience, have asked for Jake Paul is that you want to...
Yes, Joshua has been off for 14 months. Yes, he's coming off elbow surgery. Yes, the Dubois knockout looked like someone unplugged his Wi-Fi in the middle of the fight. But even with all that, Anthony Joshua is still dangerous enough to compete with any heavyweight in the world. And he's right. Jake Paul has made progress. He's gone from influencer punches to real combinations. But insiders, real matchmakers, not YouTube commentators, look at this fight like Jake accidentally pressed legendary difficulty on a video game.
Two-time interview world champion, Olympic gold medalist. Now, he may not be at what he was when he was absolute peak. There's no doubt that Anthony Joshua was beyond his apex of his career. Mm-hmm. But even though he'll be coming off of about a 14-month layoff. Yeah. He's coming off having had surgery on his elbow. He's coming off of a very, very, very...
And you could see Dan trying not to laugh, probably thinking, please don't make me lose my monetization today. Because when the experts look confused, the promoters look nervous, and the journalists start talking like it's a disaster movie. You know this fight is encouraged? It's a dare. Jake accepted it. Now we're all watching to see whether it becomes brilliance or just a highlight reel moment played in slow motion for years. Either way, on December 19th, Chaos has a schedule.
It's build fake Paul, Anthony Joshua, but I mean, AJ's agreed to it because the old bunts. Money talks, doesn't it? But yeah, fake Paul, Anthony Joshua in that order. How's he the A-side? He's never even fought a heavyweight in the professional capacity, and he's jumping in with AJ. We'll get into it now. So Jake Paul said this isn't an AI simulation. He's probably going to hope it is when AJ starts clumping him around the ear hole. I don't think that'll last long as soon as he lands. This is...
As ever, walking in with an I told you so grin. He breaks it down like a detective calls confirmations, quiet approval by commissions. Chael basically turned into boxing's Sherlock Holmes just to prove one point. If nobody is stopping this fight, that usually means they're happy to watch it burn. Chael describes Jake walking toward this fight like a man stepping into a wood chipper wearing sunglasses and filming it for YouTube. And honestly, he's not wrong. In chaos, debates, interviews, and expert breakdowns, here's where we land. This fight is more than a matchup, it's a measurement. Legacy versus momentum. Power versus audacity. Physics versus confidence. And on December 19th, we find out whether Jake Paul creates the biggest upset of the decade, or whether Anthony Joshua reminds the world that heavyweight reality does not negotiate with hype. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Are we watching a miracle, a mismatch, or the most entertaining demolition job in years? And remember, like, share, and subscribe to Bloodline Boxing. See you in the next one.